against Belgium in all black. Benji Rees still here with you, as I will be all day here in PRIENAI. One of two venues we're operating from today. You can also catch women's division from Gardevar, with Hannah Pendlebury leading the commentary over there. Netherlands versus Great Britain is the action that is just about to get underway. And instantly, quick turnover, gives the Belgians the disc. Did he toe that in? I think there was a pick anyway. Van den Broek looking for the end zone. Unable to link up with his intended target. Benjamin Zwarts was the intended receiver, but doesn't matter because the Belgians get it right back. And eventually punch it in. So not the cleanest start there from either side. For Belgium though, it is a break, so I'm not sure they'll mind. Zwarts just bringing it in from the end zone line. Splits those defenders well. And just has his receiver pretty open, to be honest. And you can only give a side of this quality so many opportunities before they punish you, in all honesty. That scuba looks a little bit overthrown, but I'm wrong, as it's well collected and then fired to the end zone for the score. That a much cleaner point for the Austrians. One apiece. Have a look at it again on the replay. There's that leading scuba, and it is scooped up by the right hand of Havlicek. And then on the run into the end zone for the score. Kalchik on the reception. This pull is high. Is it going to drop in bounds? I don't think it is. Don't think that ever crossed that 2-meter threshold. We've got Ben Yonkers isolated in the middle. No surprise that he's the option. And he lasers it down the sideline. Ben Yonkers into the end zone for the score. Sofiane Bonton. Making it 2-1 to the Belgians. It's been a good year for Belgian Ultimate. With moon catchers going all the way to the semi-finals at the World Ultimate Club Championships. There's of course a little bit of a Latvian flavour. There's other internationals as well, as that pass just thrown through the back of the end zone. But the Yonkers brothers were a huge reason as to why that club went so far, along with Dan de Marais, who we also saw representing for his home club Jetset, as they won a bronze medal out on the beach just a couple of months ago. And it is Dan de Marais just catching that little flip off from Zwarts for the score. I think you'd probably have the Belgians as favourites, certainly the seeding does. And so far it looks like they are delivering on that promise after a slightly rusty first point. Players wide open to receive that hammer, and now squeezing that one in there Does link up with Kalchik, shooting towards the back of the end zone. Oh, it's too far. There was the opportunity. The Austrians couldn't make it work. Here's Demare with the scuba. Going to be short just shy of the end zone by Descan. Popping it off to Swartz. Swartz down the line to Georges Donnet. And this Belgium side showing their quality now. 4-1 they lead. And at the moment, it doesn't necessarily feel like the Poles have an answer for that. And you see there again, things not really going right for the Poles. And just the push pass, the nonchalance of it all from Dan Demare. 5-1 now. Finds Bihin for the goal. They are all over the Poles. And I think it looks like they're in their opposition heads a little bit. Can they give themselves that mental reset? Did I say the Poles? I meant the Austrians. Still got thoughts in my head of that last game. Prohaska. To Kröger. Now here's Deutsch Bayer. Into the backfield. Coyle. This looks like it's got a little bit of rhythm now, the Polish offense. Taking the reset off to Deutsch Bayer. Underneath, just past the arms of Bonton. Kröger to Coyle. Coyle with the inside to Deutsch Bayer. Deutsch Bayer not going to be caught in the end zone. Alma has to come out and hammers it over the top to Deutsch Bayer. Nice patience on that possession from Austria. 5-2. See it again here on the replay. Could have been tempted to maybe wait, see if he could tow it in the end zone, but with the defender lurking right there, especially with the way the game's been going, probably didn't feel like he could afford to take the risk. Comes out of the end zone. Good decision, especially when you can keep your focus and find that hammer over to the weak side for the score. Ref Yonkers catching the pull. He's no stranger to throwing overheads even outdoors. So indoors, you better believe that those can and will come. Here is Yonkers. No force on him, faking the over the top. And eventually finding one. Cool as you like, to Sophien Bonton. And they looked so almost unbothered. Like they're just having a chuck around. Again, apologies for calling the Austrians the Poles earlier. I think A, the white jerseys, and B, getting my brain mixed up. Already the fourth game of the day here. And I highly do recommend you go back and watch that Poland-Ireland game we just had here as well. Here are the Austrian offense. Pujas. Cohen catches it underneath. Smug runs a 1-2, bouncing it back off Endorfer. That one was a little bit behind, but that's a good catch made by Joshua Cohen. Now here's Pujas. Into the hands of Smug. Again, they're not getting the quick shots. The Belgian defense forcing the Austrians to grind it out, but that is nicely done, nicely weighted. Nicholas Jauk had touched the disc at that point, I think, but he makes the catch when it counts, just coming towards the front of the end zone. You see him, that little shuffle, stutter step to make sure that he's in he's in the end zone still when he makes the catch. Really zinged into him. 6-3. After a nervy start, I think it's not unfair to say, finding a little bit of rhythm, the Polish offense now. Austrian offense. Why do I keep doing that? Here's the big shot. Looking for Jonkers. Oh, he's gone for the greatest and completed it as well. The presence of mind from Ref Jonkers. Hey, we saw Mooncatchers with the greatest as well at Worlds, and that time is too much for even Ref Jonkers. The greatest comes to nothing. What a pity. But Ref Jonkers decides, no, we're not done here. I'm going to get this back. His brother Ben calls for a bit of calm, getting a replacement disc. Eurodisc, the official disc supplier of the EUF. Ben Jonkers faking the over the top. Austrian defense has to get back to work. I think I'd have worked it out given the fact they've got Austria on the back of the jerseys. As Bontemps over the top. Eventually Ref Jonkers will get the goal. Belgium 7, Austria 3. Can't believe we had a greatest. Quick turnover there by the Austrians. And Belgium pounce. 8-3. They just... Giving in those short fields is just a recipe for disaster. And they've done it far too often. Just the little jink the shoulder to me from Demarais. When the defender gets the hips turned, opened up in the wrong direction, Christian Havlicek. There's nothing he can do. Oh, that is a hefty collision in the centre of the pitch. Cohen was looking for the blade to Nicholas Jauk, who caught the last Austrian score. Good to see that everyone's okay, and they don't think that the turnover or that the collision affected the turnover. So it is a Belgian disc, and they can take half, 9-3 on the Austrians. Should they be able to convert? And as soon as it's out of my mouth, they do so. Gaetan Vandenbroek to Dan Demarais, catching his third score. 9-3. Belgium have been good, but they haven't been perfect. The Austrians have just given them too many freebies, you feel. Belgium looking good value for it at the moment. So both sides engaged in some little half-time huddles, getting some tactical discussions. Half-time's not very long here indoors. When games are only 42 minutes, of course, it can't be. So while they spend their 2 minutes maybe just getting a bit more instruction going on, you hear Austrians break their huddle with the big AUT. Austria Ultimate Team. There's, of course, their 3-letter country code. Belgium up 9-3 over Austria at half, and they'll be receiving to begin the second period, as if things couldn't get worse for the Austrians. But as we saw last game, until that final point goes in, it's not over. These comebacks certainly are possible, even in these short games. Trying to attack the ball, but had to adjust a little bit there. Delace. Ref Yonkers to his brother Ben, to the end zone, to Sofiane Bontemps. Quick, efficient, ruthless. 10-3. Looking very well drilled, well spaced, well organised. This Belgian roster is more than just the biggest names and the biggest bodies. And that's all about timing. Ball's going to be caught at the back of the end zone by Skylar Riotis. Camillo. Skylar Riotis again. He wants to flick this one over the top. Dan Desmarais gets a huge piece of that one. Max it strongly out the back of the end zone. I like the idea with the stall count rising. Try and put it up into an area deep where your receivers have a chance to make the play. Unfortunately for the Austrians, Dan Desmarais knew that was what they were looking for and got a huge hand to deny them. Here is Desmarais. Van den Broek. Here's the scuba looking for Desmarais. Oh, he rises, but it's off his fingertips. Austrians will get a second opportunity. Couple of defenders there, ready to gobble it up in case the disc was dropped. But that throw was maybe rushed, like it didn't come out of the hand anywhere near as it had been intended to. Descan picks up. Scuba's across the field to Desmarais. Desmarais with the blade, back to Descan, making it 11-3. There are points this game where it feels like Austria have just given the disc up to their opponents a little bit. This point didn't feel as much like that. It felt like the Belgians were really working defensively to get the blocks. I'll send the offense back out there, the Austrians. Cohen catching at the back of the end zone. First pass goes underneath to René Smook. Smook finds Cohen up the line. Looking for a continuation, not liking what he sees there. Tries to fire that one right down the sideline to Pujas. The defender was all over it. Crossing Ben Yonkers over to play on the D-line now. Picking up after the turn. Going deep, Van den Broek. There is some sort of violation. Didn't see precisely what the call was. And there's a Latvian at the back of the end zone there doing some warming up. It's Didis Malderis. That is 100% a violation. Very much moving before the disc was checked in there. Benoit Behin. Ben Yonkers faking the blade. Going with the scuba over the top. Van den Broek. Here is Behin. The stall count rising, taking the underneath option of Zwarts. Zwarts with his 5th assist of the game now. Going back to Benoit Behin. 12-3. Belgium playing like they've got somewhere to be. That floaty pull pins Austria right at the back corner. I think he was calling for the brig, but he called it, so we can't take that. Foul called on the potential reception from Valentin Deutsch-Bayer. Georges Donnet was the defender. Outside the venue, a blanket of white snow covers the ground. But here, indoors, we are bouncing on the sprung wooden floors as that disc is a little bit behind coil for the Austrians. Looking for the underneath, De Marais has to tow it in. Zwarts to Donnet. Zwarts has really marshalled the offense after the turn for the Belgians in those luminous boots, but that time he threw it right into the awaiting defender. Good anticipation from Valentin Deutschbayer, who caught that like he was the intended receiver. Can the Austrians find a way in? Deutschbayer. Gröger back to Deutschbayer. Coyle, maybe a couple of meters out, no more. Wants to look into the end zone, not there. Takes the reset to Deutschbayer. Belgian defenders passing off players downfield, but they run it nicely and neatly outside the end zone, the Austrian offense. And Valentin Deutschbayer will find Vincent Coyle, and that'll make it 12-4. Austrians back on the board, their first point since they made it 6-3, stopping a 6-point run there for the Belgians. So the ball, caught by Delace, finds Ref Yonkers. He's looking at the end zone for Sofiane Bontemps, and he makes the catch, and his momentum takes him into the stands, and he gets himself a little bit of a break, sitting himself down as he makes it 13-4. Belgium currently lead over Austria. I think it's so easy to look at the Yonkers brothers and think, oh my god, they're so goony. Obviously they'll be the end zone targets. But no, they're doing more of their work in the intermediary space and letting Bontemps, with that exquisite end zone timing, go to work. I mean, is it really any doubt that a man with the surname Bontemps would have good timing? I mean, that's nominative determinism for you, innit? There's a pick downfield. I think this is going to be returned into the hands of Stefan Ehrendorfer for Austria. Snap of hands. Everyone ready to go. Donnet signalling the stall, and we're back in. Little inside channel to find that through to Simon Pukas. And that one into a contested area. Nicholas Jauk calling the foul on Benjamin Zwarts. Uncontested. Checked in. Thinking about the upline. Oh my word. Didn't think he was going to throw it, but he really jammed it in the jam hole, didn't he? Full credit to him. I think probably caught the Belgian defense off guard as well. A little bit behind, and I must secure possession before he gets that foot down. 13-5. Belgium lead Austria here in PRIENAI. Floaty one. Lands out of bounds. Doesn't go through the imaginary 2-meter end zone box that signals a valid pull. So it'll be brought in at the brick mark. That's a low scuba that Ben Yonkers catches anyway. Giving it back to Behin with a lead pass. Ben Yonkers again turns, fires downfield, looking for his brother Ref. And it's that easy at times, it seems, for them. Just utilising that wingspan, both as a thrower and as a receiver, Have a look, just a little stutter to go deep. Obviously, if you're the Austria defenders, you've got to respect that. But with those long limbs, that hammer over the top, it's so difficult to block. And Gref Jonkers is nigh on impossible for sometimes even the best of the world's defenders to get blocks on. As they're trying to lead Skylar Riotis deep, that's a really good poach block by Zwart, who read that one all the way. Demarais. Really pump faking that scuba, a lot of snap on that one, I like it. Instead running underneath, and then an expansive blade towards the end zone. Not in bounds. Almost. It looked like he tried to kick it at the end there. A little bit of football practice perhaps from Van den Broek. Austrians with a second opportunity. Skylar Riotis shooting, that's a high hammer towards the far side. Demarais gets a paw on it. Goes to check that his opposition is all right as well after a slightly hefty landing. Christian Havlicek, good spirit. Yeah, I thought that one was going to connect, I will be honest, but Dan Demarais just has that explosiveness. Ooh, snuck that one through past Skylar Riotis. He recognised it, just couldn't quite close the window. Descan. Van den Broek thinks the hammer, wants the hammer, has it to Dan Demarais. 15-5. Three goals, 2 assists now for Dan Demarais. The second assist of the game as well for Gaetan Van den Broek. As you mentioned, 66 games this weekend here at EUIC. $12 games from each of our venues today, here in PRIENAI and also in Gavrovar, where you can catch women's division action. Currently it's Netherlands versus Great Britain. And then tomorrow, as well as open and women's division action, bring you mixed division action as well. The mixed division action is going to be at Gavrovar, with the women over in Costa. And then finals day on Sunday, we're at Gavrovar, bringing you all the action. Slightly reduced schedule for us. Only half the number of games. 6 we're covering then instead of the full 12 today and tomorrow. So 66 games in all. That is a lot of Frisbee. And that's good recognition on the pool there from the Belgians, because the Austrians are all over one half of the end zone. So that disc thrown over the far side should actually come in through the sideline where it went out. They bring it to the front of the end zone though, and the hammer is overthrown for not one but 2 players. Nice diving or sliding almost attempt at it from Stefan Endorfer. Gref Jonkers brings it in. Gets it back from Fowler. Gref Jonkers trying to feather it over the top. There is a pick, so that will not stand. Latvian sideline echoing the signals there. Gref Jonkers. Well, if the first one won't work, we'll just do it towards the other sideline. Cornel Descan makes it 16-5. Belgium within 1 of the win. To creating a big lead in the first half. You think they sometimes would have been forgiven for taking their foot off the gas. But while it's not been the cleanest of performances from the Belgians, feel like they're showing their quality here over an Austrian side that is not quite the finished article yet. Coyle, wanted the underneath pass, but it was lightning quick reactions and reflexes there to get the block from Benoit Behin, and then the cheeky quick pickup as well from Demarais. And the push pass is some way to end it. Belgium merged 17-5 victors, and you have to say it's an ominous performance for other sides out there. Belgium looking for a deep run this year. And if they can play to their best, I think you'd be a brave person to bet against it. So we've now seen all 8 teams that are at this venue today. So from now on, we're going to be getting a few not a few rematches, but you'll be recognising a lot more of the names because we've already seen them once today. Crossing back over to Pool A because we alternate between Pool A and D today. Up next is Latvia versus Ireland, and then we will see Austria again in about an hour and a half's time when they take on Lithuania. And plenty of games still to come here. Only a third of the way through here in PRIENAI. Our open division action here today at the European Ultimate Indoor Championships continues at a frenetic pace. But you get a little bit of a breather now. Next game starts at 12 o'clock local time in half an hour. And as we mentioned, that is Latvia versus Ireland. From all of us here in Lithuania, for our ULTI.TV and zoomtv crew, Benji Rees signing off, saying we will see you on the other side.
ULTI.TV.